I was just at home playing the video games when my ghost dog bit my games machine or something, and it zapped me into the video game world. And now I'm stuck, going from game to game trying to complete them or whatever, until I finally find my way back home. This video has been sponsored by Learn Your Skills With Us. Please stay to the end of the video to find out more. I leap into a new recruit for the SAS. Turns out my name is Soap. I wonder if that's because I'm here to get rid of dirt and clean up messes. I'm told to pick up a gun and start a training exercise, but I aim like a grandma. Maybe I'm actually called Soap because I handle a gun like I've got soap in my hands and in my eyes. I also shoot a friendly and get in trouble. Turns out that it's kind of frowned upon to shoot your fellow soldiers in the head. My bad, it's my first day. I move on to do a test to prove my worth. I do absolutely awful. I even flashbang myself. But they still say it's okay for me to join them. If this is what it takes to be a member of the SAS, it's pretty concerning. Taking on someone as incompetent as me, clearly a liability that shoots fellow soldiers at a shooting range, but they say it's okay for me to join, well then anything that's going to go wrong is completely on them. Now I'm on a boat. I don't really know what's going on, but I just point my gun and shoot people. I follow my colleagues about and I watch as one shoots a drunkard, and then I watch as another shoots these people whilst they're asleep. I think it's a bit harsh, but then I see the state of their toilet and think, well, maybe they deserve it a bit. Wait, I know my name is Soap, but I hope they don't expect me to clean it. After shooting our way through soldiers on the boat, we managed to get to the manifesto, and I'm wondering if all this hassle has been worth it. Then stuff goes wrong, there's shouting and shooting, and we manage to escape as the boat sinks. But there isn't a Titanic woman singing or anything. Suddenly I'm the president of somewhere, but I don't think things are going too well when I'm dragged into a car that doesn't look like the limousines I'm used to. People seem quite angry and there's lots of civilians getting shot. I wonder if maybe they just have strict ways of stopping the spread of corona. I don't really know what's going on, but it turns out these people are not here to greet me nicely and instead greet me with a bullet to the head, live on TV. I'm back to being British, which is a slight improvement on being dead, and I'm helping to rescue an informant. His code name is Nikolai, but I'm going to call him Nicky. There's lots of people getting shot and we meet a Russian, but this is a good Russian apparently. Although he's more bothered about us helping his soldiers than getting the informant. We have a lot of people to shoot and in the chaos, I accidentally kill one of my teammates. I try to tell myself that accidents happen, and I feel guilty for a moment, but there's too many people to shoot to feel too bad about it. We storm a house with night vision goggles, taking out the baddies, and we manage to rescue Nicky. Suddenly I'm an American now, and everything goes all America, flip yeah. We're trying to get to one of the big baddies who is behind the killing of the president. There's a lot of baddies to kill, and I'm shooting so many people that I'm losing track of my kill count. We storm a TV studio, cause a crap ton of irreparable damage to the TV station equipment, and even more irreparable damage to people's bodies by killing them. We get through to find out the intelligence we received wasn't that intelligent, because the big baddie isn't there. Then I'm still American and I'm in a situation where there's even more shooting going on than before, which is quite impressive. Except it's not really, but I just stick to killing the baddies. I also accidentally kill a friendly who runs in front of me whilst I'm firing at someone's head. I feel a bit bad until I'm distracted by all the pretty explosions caused by a copter that comes in and brings the death. So I'm back to being British again, and it's just our luck as our helicopter gets shot down. We have to make our way to safety, shooting people, shooting a chopper, and then we get to an extraction point. After that, I'm then providing air support via an AC-130, which sounds like an air conditioning unit to me, but I absolutely suck at it. I end up spending more time killing friendlies by accident. But then I'm a Marine again, and I'm looking to rescue something called War Pig or whatever. I don't really ask what's going on because I've got shooting to do, so I do that to the best of my ability, which isn't much. We have to protect a tank and shoot the baddies. It's chaotic and I just shoot and try not to think too hard, which might explain why I accidentally end up shooting my colleagues. I get a chance to be on a copter and shoot away. I can't really make out who I'm shooting at, so I just aim and hope. Then I help assist a recon team by providing support for them. When I'm back on the copter, another copter gets shot down, and it's up to our copter to travel to the crashed copter to rescue the pilot. I rescue the pilot and we manage to get the heck out of there, until there's a massive explosion. It's so big, it causes death to pretty much everyone and everything around me, including me. I'm back as Soap and we're looking for one of the big baddies. We search the village buildings to capture him, and wouldn't you know it, he's in the last place we look. Before we get to him, our boss Captain Price says we need to keep this baddie alive, shortly before punching him senseless and shooting him in the head. I guess that's his way of preventing a long costly trial for war crimes, to save taxpayers' money. The Price is right. Price then tells us a nice story from 1996 when he was a younger soldier and he liked using sniper rifles. Then I become him suddenly. I get the option to stealth past people or kill them. Of course, I choose the ultimate stealth strategy. They will never know I was there, because they're dead. Suddenly there's a whole army of people and we lie down in the grass, pretending we're not there. And they must pretend the same thing because I think there's no way that they don't see us. To be honest, one time I was so good at pretending I was some grass in the field that a tank runs over me. We continue to make our way towards our target, but my boss glitches out a bit and doesn't move, so I encourage him by stabbing him up a bit, which eventually gets him moving. We wait for a meeting to take place where it's my job to assassinate the big baddie from the future. But obviously I know I'm going to mess it up because he's still alive in the future, even though I wouldn't know that at this point. I go to take the shot and as expected, I mess it up. But I mess it up too much by missing him completely, so I need to take a second shot, and this time I manage to take out his arm. All hell breaks loose as now everyone is out to kill us, and we have to get the heck out of there. It's not an easy task though, and I get killed a bunch of times trying to get away, but it's my story and I know I survive, and so I keep going until my boss gets hurt. I kind of wanted to leave him there. I mean, he could have moved out of the way of the helicopter, but I show how awesome I am by dragging him about and then putting him down and then shooting all the baddies. I use my awesome skills to keep him alive, and I managed to get him to the extraction zone, where we hold off the baddies with our sniper rifles and anything we can find until we are eventually rescued. After Price has told his story, I'm Soap again, and then it's decided that instead of going after the big baddie, we're going to go after his son and get the intel from him instead. We take control of the checkpoint, eventually, and then we're told to play dress up as Russians. I decide that my character's name is going to be Rasputin. We wait for the baddies to arrive and we find the target is in the jeep. We wait for the right moment to strike and I snipe the soldier in the back of the jeep. And then I just start aiming my machine gun at them and hope for the best. Eventually the tower I'm in falls and I watch as the tracksuit wearing idiot we're after runs off. I chase after him and no amount of flying dogs or soldiers are going to stop me, even if some of them do get some lucky shots in. He seemingly has a small army protecting him, but I've got a big machine gun. Despite the inconvenience of getting killed on pursuit, I persevere, and after killing everyone in my way, including accidentally killing a colleague, I think it's best just to move on and pretend it was one of the Russians. I mean, technically I was wearing Russian clothing, so... Anyway, I make it to the tracksuit wearing fashion criminal, and I'm tasked with disarming and restraining him. I don't do a great job as he ends up shooting himself, although technically it does mean he's both disarmed and restrained, but it wasn't what my boss had in mind. Now we're in some snowy place in Russia, and I've got a new mission, although I don't know what it is until I find out what it is, and it's that we're looking for Sergeant Griggs. We think Griggs is in the house, so we make our way through the house killing all the baddies. Once everyone is dead, it's confirmed that Griggs isn't there, which in some ways is a relief because if he was there, he'd have been dead already, and it would have been me who would have shot him. It's really tense as we go from house to house looking for Griggs. We eventually find him in the last house we look and I untie him. I cause an explosion to take out the power lines and one of my colleagues falls over opening the fence, and I try not to laugh at him. We spend a lot of time killing people until we finally meet up with some sniper Americans, just as some missiles are launched. I continue as Soap as the 400th helicopter in the game is shot down. Somehow through pure luck I'm able to approach a tank, attach some C4 to it and blow it the flip up. It really was very kind of the Russians to not kill me as I did this so incompetently. With the missiles being launched, it's up to us to access the launch facility. So I blow up some more tanks and cover my teammates as they cut through the vents for us to rappel inside. So our plan is to make our way to the launch room and press a stop the missiles from causing the deaths button or something. We start to make our way through the vents and end up in this shower room. Although these two didn't seem to enjoy their shower very much. Seems like they could have really done with some soap. Turns out we have 11 minutes to stop the missiles from hitting their targets or something and causing death, destruction and sinking people's battleships or whatever. I take a bunch of shots for the team and sometimes get killed. But death won't stop me, and after doing some John Wick style stuff, I help us to make our way through. We wait for the slowest moving doors in history and continue to shoot the baddies until we manage to breach the control room. For some reason they trust me to upload the abort code. I don't really know what that means as I can barely use the emails, but I managed to press a bunch of buttons and safely detonate the warheads so they don't cause the deaths, and I'm the hero. Except the bad guy is now escaping, so we need to go after him. So we make our way out, we get on some trucks and we chase the big baddie, but we're being chased ourselves, and it's so chaotic that I have no idea what's going on and I just shoot my gun to make it look like I know what I'm doing. I'm given an RPG to blow up a helicopter, but I managed to mess that up too. Eventually explosions happen anyway, and we're on a collapsing bridge. Then there seems to be never-ending enemies until eventually I get shot down. Sergeant Griggs tries to drag me to safety, but he is shot. Then the big bad guy makes his way towards me and shows how he's not completely harmless, which I think isn't a bad joke to think before you die. But just as I think I'm about to be dead for good, Price slides me a handgun, and I John Wick the bad guy in the back of the head, and his cronies too. The good Russians come to rescue us. I look over at Price, and I'm not sure he's going to make it, which means we'd be priceless. I think to myself, that's another good joke as I'm lifted to safety, just as I leap to another game. I wonder what I'll be playing next. Oh boy.
Hey, you want to see a puppy?
You wouldn't go off with a stranger, so don't go on YouTube to learn a skill because you never know what you might get. Make sure you come to Learn Your Skills with us, where you can pay to learn a whole array of skills, such as...
Okay, now we've learned how to use the G code, we can use it in a song. It could go a little something like this. Alright, so yeah, once that's cooking away nicely, what we want to do is we want to take this kettle that we've just boiled, we want to pour it into the jug. If you've spent 15 minutes or more looking for a pulse but couldn't find one, the chances are they're probably dead or a zombie. Either way, be prepared.
Sign up to Learn Your Skills with us today. Use the code NOSKILLS to get 15% off a 15% discount today.